outplayed Dillon Gabriel in both practice and in the preseason in their starts. No matter if it's a half each player played, you can't have it both ways. You can't say Dillon played as well, if not better, than Shedeur.
So the truth is about these guys, I have two strong opinions. I think Dillon Gabriel's size is an issue. I would have a hard time building around him. He's small. But I think Shedeur was underdrafted. Shedeur is bigger. I think he moves well. I would choose Shedeur over Dillon Gabriel.
The quarterback battle has taken a wild twist, especially with Dillon Gabriel trying to prove himself in the NFL. Recently, Colin Cowherd jumped into the conversation, and his comments instantly set off a firestorm. After watching Gabriel's debut, Cowherd flat out said that if this is the offense moving forward, the team is doomed. And it's not just about the interceptions or sloppy plays. Cowherd argued that Gabriel's size is a serious weakness that will haunt him in the long run. Then he shifted focus to Shedeur Sanders, dropping a shocking take that after watching both quarterbacks side by side, he'd pick Sanders every single time. Cowherd even claimed Sanders was massively underdrafted. High praise, especially with the level of competition in the NFL right now. Colin Cowherd didn't sugarcoat anything in his breakdown. He openly admitted that he personally prefers Shedeur Sanders, but he also suggested that Kevin Stefanski, the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, might have gone for safe and predictable when picking his quarterback. Cowherd explained that general managers around the league are often chasing quarterbacks who are solid but boring, the kind of players who won't grab headlines or create extra pressure by being a star. He pointed out that Shedeur Sanders has an aura that electrifies fans but also raises the stakes, and maybe that's exactly what scares coaches like Stefanski. That's a huge amount of pressure, especially for a team desperate to build a strong and steady offense. And this, Colin Cowherd argued, is exactly why the Browns chose Dillon Gabriel over Shedeur Sanders. Gabriel may not have the same star power, but he supposedly brings the kind of stability and focus the team thinks it needs. But things have taken a turn, as Browns GM Andrew Berry has now openly expressed his admiration for Shedeur Sanders. After watching Sanders put on a masterclass performance, Berry couldn't hide his excitement. He publicly said he was proud of the way Shedeur carried himself and praised how he controlled the game. While admitting that no player is flawless, Berry's words sounded more like a father figure, showing his deep belief in Sanders' potential. That kind of endorsement has completely shifted the narrative, and suddenly Sanders is flipping the entire quarterback debate on its head.
Really, really good show. Proud of you.
Cool.
Really, really nice show.
You're not fully proud, kinda.
Kinda proud. Look, pretty flip side. It was a perfect no, but you made plays, you operated so it's just stacked.
I love when you tell the facts. Did you? No, but it's okay. It's okay.
Listen, you did a nice job. Okay, so just take what you learned from tonight, apply it to the joint practices, and then the next.
Stephen A. Smith has now jumped into the quarterback debate, and he didn't hold back. He flat out declared that Shedeur Sanders is the better player compared to Dillon Gabriel, especially when it comes to overall performance. Smith stressed that Sanders has been under insane pressure with all the debates and spotlight constantly on him. Yet, instead of folding, Sanders crushed expectations and kept playing at a top level. According to Smith, it's exactly these high-pressure moments where Sanders proves himself, and that's why, in his eyes, Sanders is clearly the superior choice. Stephen A. Smith doubled down on his stance, making it crystal clear that he believes Shedeur Sanders outshines Dillon Gabriel, especially when you look at the opening drives. While Smith admitted that Gabriel had a few flashes of brilliance, he didn't ignore the sloppy mistakes that dragged his performance down. And sure, Gabriel deserves some credit for his effort. But Smith didn't hesitate to hammer home his point. When the game is on the line, Shedeur is simply the better quarterback. His overall presence and complete skill set, according to Smith, stand out far more over time.
I liked it, but that's not to throw any shade on Dillon Gabriel. He came out there, had a couple of mishaps, what have you, but ultimately he played well, and I give him credit where credit is due. But watching Shedeur move the offense or what have you, I thought that his performance was slightly better than Dillon Gabriel.
Stephen A. Smith didn't stop there. He went straight after Dillon Gabriel for the comments he made about Shedeur Sanders. Smith tore into him, calling Gabriel's remark flat-out stupid. He stressed that as a quarterback, Gabriel's only job should be locking in on his performance and proving himself on the field, not taking petty shots at teammates or the media. Smith made it clear that this kind of nonsense is nothing but a distraction, it drags the team down, and it has no place in the conversation. Stephen A. Smith stood firm on his stance, saying that Dillon Gabriel's comments about Shedeur Sanders basically threw him under the bus and opened him up to public backlash. But Smith made it clear that, in the end, Gabriel has no one to blame but himself. He repeated that making a comment like that was nothing short of idiotic, a reckless move that piled on drama the team didn't need and created a mess of his own making.
Others will be merciless, but in the end, no one will be wrong because who instigated that fury against you? It would be you. Very, very idiotic and stupid for you to say what you said.
Stephen A. Smith drove the point home by stressing that Shedeur Sanders handles the media and outside pressure far better. He explained that if Sanders had made the same type of comments, the backlash would have been brutal and the criticism non-stop, putting him under even heavier pressure. Smith noted that Dillon Gabriel is being given the benefit of the doubt right now, but made it clear the reaction would have been completely different if Sanders slipped up like that. In the end, Smith concluded that whatever good moments Gabriel showed in the game, he completely erased them with his controversial remarks.
How much would he have been excoriated for talking about the media that way? And so because of that, now you're going to look at people and they're going to say, okay, well, it wasn't him. He's the dude that went out there and played very, very well in his preseason debut. This guy, Dillon Gabriel, he still had good moments in third down, 6 for 6. Completing his passes was impressive, had composure in the pocket, etc., etc. There was a lot of good things to say about Dillon Gabriel. But he threw shade on his own performance by showing he was paying attention to stuff.
The quarterback debate has hit a whole new level, especially with the spotlight now locked on Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. From the very beginning, fans and analysts have been completely split over who really deserves the starting job. Each quarterback brings his own strengths and flaws, but the battle got even more heated once Colin Cowherd jumped in with his opinions. Cowherd didn't hide the fact that he preferred Shedeur Sanders, yet he claimed the Cleveland Browns went with Dillon Gabriel because they were chasing safety and stability instead of taking the bold choice. Cowherd stressed that general managers usually lean toward quarterbacks who are steady, even if they're not spectacular, the kind of players who won't bring too much attention or create extra pressure. Dillon Gabriel, with his quiet and low-key presence, fit that safe image perfectly. But Cowherd also admitted that Shedeur Sanders' flair and his ability to thrive under pressure made him the more thrilling option, even if it meant dealing with extra scrutiny. The debate didn't stop there, as Stephen A. Smith later jumped in, insisting that Sanders has already proven himself to be the superior quarterback when the stakes are high. Stephen A. Smith ripped into Dillon Gabriel for making pointless comments about Shedeur Sanders, calling them flat-out idiotic and warning that distractions like that could hurt the entire team. Smith highlighted how Sanders separates himself by handling the media pressure and still performing at a high level despite the massive expectations on his shoulders. In the end, the battle between Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders is nowhere near settled. Gabriel might have shown flashes of brilliance, but his reckless remarks and the backlash that followed have overshadowed everything he did on the field. Sanders, meanwhile, keeps shining, proving he can handle the spotlight and the pressure of being a high-profile quarterback with confidence. The debate will rage on, but one thing is undeniable. Both quarterbacks have the potential to make a major impact in the league. So, what do you think? Who really has the upper hand in this quarterback battle? Dillon Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders? Do you agree with Colin Cowherd's take that Gabriel's calm, steady style might make him the safer choice for the Browns? Or are you with Stephen A. Smith, who insists Sanders shines brightest under pressure and is clearly the better player overall? How much do you believe off-field comments and media drama affect a quarterback's actual performance on game day? Will Gabriel's latest blunder be the mistake that defines his career, or can he bounce back and prove everyone wrong? Drop your thoughts below, because this debate is far from settled, and we want to hear your take. So, who do you think has the edge, Dillon Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more updates on this heated quarterback battle.